Skylar Howes, we got you back on the show again. I think this is the third time, so third time's the charm. This year you had a great opportunity to go down for the Baja 1000. Can you tell me a little bit about that, like how you got invited, all that good stuff?
Well, basically I got to be Anthony's right-hand man, and he, his main dude kind of bailed on him a couple days before, so he contacted Chris Blaze, who gave me the opportunity, and I, threw everything out the door and headed on my way down to California to hop in the van with him. So it was definitely an opportunity of a lifetime that I couldn't pass up, that's for sure.
So did you actually pre-ride? Were you like the logistics part of it? Were you like helping schedule, transferring, dumping gas? What were you doing down there?
Yeah, basically mostly pit support, kind of, just helped Anthony wrench on bikes, like the B-Team bike with Eric Yorba and Justin Seeds and those kids. I wrenched on their bike most of the time, and just kind of went out testing with Kendall and Kurt, and just kind of did that thing. I really didn't get to ride, but it was still an opportunity of a lifetime.
Definitely, especially if something like that comes out the door. We're going.
Yeah.
So what was that? The first year you ever been down there?
Yeah, first time. I went down to Cabo one time, but I mean that really doesn't count. So that was my first time down to Ensenada and down that way, and it was awesome, man. I loved it.
So what did you learn? Like, is it like an experience you want to do again? Is it like you're like, no way, I'm out of there, I ain't going back? Or
absolute madness down there, dude. Just the craziest thing. When we first got down there, all of Ivan's friends and everyone that was kind of helping out KTM, all the Mexicans down there, are just like the nicest people ever. Like, give the shirt off their back, go run any errand, and do anything you want them to do, and it was awesome. And then once race day came, and me and Anthony got down to our first pit, it was just, then you really got to see down into the heart of Baja, kind of how insane the people really are.
Yeah.
Crazy.
How do you feel about the start at nighttime?
It was kind of half and half. They didn't have pit support, and the fog this year was the worst it's ever been. I mean, Kurt kept saying that he kept thinking he was going to get caught because he had to go so slow. You couldn't see 10 feet in front of you because the fog was so bad. No pit support, and going through the city at night, right at the start of the 1000 is pretty sketchy. But honestly, it was kind of a half and half deal. It was good in some ways and bad in some others. But riding most, I don't know. It kind of is what it is,
No, exactly. So you just shadowed Anthony, helped in as much as you can. I mean, it's a lot of work for a 1000. I mean, you probably opened your eyes like, holy smokes, there's a lot of work to go on here.
Absolutely. Anthony, it really goes kind of unseen how much Anthony and the rest of the mechanics at KTM really put in, the hard work. I've never seen someone work that hard, just to make someone else happy. Like, Anthony does so much for KTM, for Kurt, for Ivan, for everyone, that really I don't think anyone, unless you really got to spend the time with them, really understood.
Yeah.
I mean, he spent day after day just making sure the bike was absolutely perfect, or the lights were how everyone wanted them to be. So it was definitely an eye-opener to see how hard these guys actually work on things. So
that's cool that you get to see that part of it, and a guy like you, you absorbed that, so that's definitely good. So maybe you could have got your foot in the door a little bit for KTM for maybe a Baja next year, which would be pretty cool.
Yeah, well, we'll kind of see how things go, man. This year was definitely a rough one, and we'll kind of see how things rebound. I mean, I really don't expect anything to come just swinging at my door, but you know, it was good to meet everyone that I did, everyone that I got to shake hands with and really get acquainted with or really get to know. Was awesome. So definitely get my foot in the door, but I mean, we'll see. It's kind of hit and miss at this point to see how far things go down in Baja now. So.
Yeah, but you know, it's weird. Like you don't want to believe something. You know, like when I first heard about Kurt, you know, it was like, this isn't real. This isn't happening. Like, you know what I mean? Like, but then you see the outpour of support. You know how great this person was. You know, and then it brought everybody together, which was pretty darn amazing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. At first, you know, I was at the last pit there at pit 779, at race mile 779, and Kurt's accident was 13 miles later. And there was quite a big gap between the A from Kurt down to the B team. So, and I'd been up for, 48 hours on a couple of Red Bulls kind of thing. So
yeah.
I decided to take a little nap and pass out. And I woke up to Anthony and everyone on the radio and kind of getting a little freaked out. And, it was still a little bit a time until we got confirmation of it. And at that time, I was just like struck, just absolutely in shock, and Kurt's done so much for me as a racer and really like given me such advice that'll stick with me for the rest of my life, and the things that he's told me, it really didn't set in with me. And the whole way back until we got to a road crossing where we met back up with Justin Seeds. And then I kind of set in a little bit more, and being right in the heart of things, right there dealing with the radio and the phone calls to Kurt's mom and to, kind of how everything was happening. It didn't hit hard. I was just still like super in shock. I had no idea until we really got back to the hotel and sat there in the hotel with Sarah and Timmy and the rest of everyone. And then that's when I finally got Wi-Fi service and saw, that it was everyone has already figured it out. And that's when it hit me hard, and I lost it.
Yeah.
I didn't want to move. I didn't even know what to do.
Yeah.
So.
It's hard. I see like a positive in it, as well as other people do too. But
yeah.
The outreach and the support, and it just brought everybody together. But I was talking to Princess, which is our editor, and I was saying, I cannot believe this. Like, this is my hero. Like, this is other people's heroes. This is the people, this is the person we looked up to, the captain, you know what I mean? And one thing that, Princess said is, what are people going to say about him when he passes on? You know what I mean? Because we're reflecting on all the positive stuff. It was just incredible what this guy has done for everybody in the sport. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. I mean, seeing all the outpouring of love from across the world is, I mean, to me, he's Kurt. I mean, he's always going to be my hero. He's going to be my idol. But I mean, in person, he's my friend. We just rode down and talked about, what I'm doing for training or how's everything doing. Just kind of just thrown down. We wake up every morning in Mexico, go get some breakfast and head over to the shop and get some stuff done. Like, it was just, everyday life. It didn't click to me till he's gone to realize how much you take for granted.
Yeah, exactly. And unfortunately, something like this needs to happen for people to recognize and be thankful for what they got, And the next Hare and Hound, with the last round of the like, did that motivate you? Did it help you? Like, did it just, what kind of emotions were you going through, like, at the starting line?
It helped me a lot, honestly. Right after I broke my back, Kurt Kurt always was kind of like, dude, you need to slow down, because I have a couple scary instances before I even crashed that, yeah, how I didn't wreck myself sooner was kind of, a miracle kind of thing. He kept sitting me down like, dude, slow down, slow down. And finally, after my crash, he sat me down and talked to me for a couple hours, just telling me, different advice and how to handle things, how to keep my composure, kind of thing like that.
Yeah.
And things like that that have helped me a long time will continue to help me too. And he sat me down a couple more times as I started to heal, and just seeing like how I'm coming back and how I'm feeling. And especially down in Mexico, we talked a little bit about, just a little bit of everything, kind of just life. And this last round coming into it, Anthony's been an amazing help to me as well. And he sat me down. He's like, hey, what's one thing Kurt's always told you is to be just be patient. Get a good start and just ride your own race. And so people always put a lot of pressure on themselves, and that's always what I did, especially at the beginning of the year. I mean, there's absolutely no pressure coming from anyone else, and I put this load of pressure on myself, saying that I have to go out there and prove something to someone. And it really stuck with me this last race. I mean, I got a great start in third, passed Jake for second. Was kind of having a good battle, going through some valleys, just riding safe, having fun. Axel Pearson and Justin Morrow came by me and split me going through a wash. Mm-hmm. And I was like, whatever, go for it. And we came into a boulder field, and they both about weeded themselves like 900 times going through the boulders. It was crazy, man. I don't know how they stayed up, but they did. And so, I just let them go. They upped the pace a little bit. I rode my own race, rode what was comfortable and fast to me. So, and I matched my best finish, which was a 5th. And so I'm stoked on it. Everyone else was pumped on it. I didn't ride over my head. I didn't make one single mistake the entire race. And it's learning from there and growing and building everything. So
from the beginning of the year, like this is, I've talked to you a couple times, and like you said, you put pressure on yourself because everybody recognized who you were at the beginning of the year. They saw the videos of you passing Kurt. It's pressure on you. You have to live up to that personally with yourself. You know what I mean? Sometimes. Yeah. And you hurt yourself, you know what I mean? But for you to come back to a top 5 finish, that is pretty awesome, you know what I mean? To mentally fight through all that. Right on, man. That's awesome. I appreciate your time. I want to keep in touch with you. Like I said, you're a badass dude, man. I really, really appreciate it.
Heck yeah, man. Thank you.
All right, guys. All right. That's this episode of The Brap. All right.
Hey.
All right.